Hello and welcome. My name is Shasta Roberts, and welcome to my book club where I read a chapter of my book, Stronger Than Your Excuses. We are almost done, just 3 chapters left. So let's go. This week we are on stage number 5, co-parenting. This might seem crazy to many people, but I don't want to hate my children's dad. I don't want to constantly fight about parenting. Fighting about parenting has never been something we have done. We've been on the same page with parenting since day one. He was a little quicker to temper, but each decision was easily made between us. We both saw things the same way. Just because we aren't separating doesn't mean that should change. We shouldn't start disagreeing on how to raise our children. I want us to be able to raise our children in agreement, like we would if we were still together. This is a very tall order. I know. I want to set my expectations high because I also will need the reminder too. I hope we are on our way there though. Before all this, we could co-parent well because I took care of most things and would inform him of the very good or really bad issues. We would have the same reaction and think the same thing. Most of the time took care of the situation. With kids, you must address things right away. There is no, we will talk later. They only retain what they want to retain. If you address it later, they will have already forgotten what they were feeling in the moment. It's a toss-up if what you said will stick. I've learned it sticks better if you address it in the moment. Honestly, besides a couple things, we haven't had to address anything but normal kid situations. What they need to do about bullying, how they should treat others, and how they should respond when others treat them badly. Pretty normal growing up, learning how to be a good human being kind of stuff. We do have one child that is behind in school and one child that is ahead in school. Despite the difference of a year in age, they are at the same learning level. It makes it a little different to parent each one. Our daughter is very different from the boys. She is full of emotions and doesn't quite know how to control them yet. She is 4, so you can imagine we get a lot of tears. Everything seems to be a big ordeal. When you know it, she kind of runs the house. If she isn't happy, no one is happy. If she is happy, everyone is happy. We love her more than anything and wouldn't change her for the world. I want to be able to go through all these years and parent the kids as a team. We made them as a team, and I want to continue to live as a team. Yes, I know it seems impossible. I don't know of anyone who has a good divorced relationship. I want to be the unknown. I want to have an extraordinary divorced relationship. How? I'm not quite sure. I feel like we are on the way though. We jumped into a relationship so fast, including living together within 6 months. I don't think we had a long enough time for us to be and become friends before we were together. Since all this change is happening, we have started to form a small friendship. We have a long way to go to make it a great friendship, but I think we have started. Have I started to tell him my deep, dark secrets and desires? No. I have at least started talking to him about what I like and things that are going on in my life. I don't fully enjoy sitting down and having a conversation with him, but maybe one day it won't be so weird. It is weird because we have been married for 10 years and still don't know each other. One of the biggest problems in our marriage has always been he likes to play devil's advocate. That means I always think he's on the opposite side than I am. I think he never agrees with me about much of anything. It led me to believe we did not have a lot in common. It also started a lot of our fights. It brought me doubt in our relationship. How can two people be married who can never agree on anything? He would mention he just wanted to play devil's advocate while talking, but that didn't change anything. Who wants to have a debate every day when they are married? I know that is something I can be good at if I want to be, but I do not love a good debate. I don't like a conversation all the time where there is always a losing side. It's probably why I have never gotten into politics or like listening to politics. We all live on this earth together. Why does there need to be a losing side at all? Can't there always be compromise? No. We live in a world where you either win or lose. That's what my marriage felt like. I was mostly on the losing side. He would beat a dead horse with his being the devil's advocate until I backed down from the argument. There could never be a compromise if we agree to disagree in his eyes. Imagine what that did to me as a person and for my self-confidence. I had to work on myself to get me to a level of not caring what other people think. So I didn't care if the devil's advocate wanted to win that day's argument or not. This behavior led to very mixed views of him and our relationship. I know certain things he likes, but deep down, knit and gritty feelings, I don't know. He won't show those to me. He would only take the opposite side of my views or feelings. He would only take we got to a point where we could not have a conversation together. When one would start and he had to play devil's advocate, I was done. Conversation was over because I was done with that game. It had gone on long enough and I never liked it from the beginning. It started well before we had kids and continued well into our marriage. By the time I stopped having conversations with him, we had 2 kids and a failing marriage. The only way I could save myself was by not arguing and playing his tricks. That is when my excuses to stay started flooding in. That's when I started to make more excuses to stay every time a new reason to leave came up. We didn't get here overnight or in the year I tried to save us. We got to this point over many years of lack of communication, among other things. You cannot love something that you are not connected to. When there's no communication, the connection is lost. The only communication came from our fights about little insignificant things. I cannot even remember. Those were the only times we talked to each other. More like yelled at each other. It wasn't really talking. In a marriage, you need to have your biggest heartfelt discussions with your own spouse. They should be the only one who knows everything about you. All the bad things, all the amazingly beautiful things too. The things you don't want to tell anyone else. The things that embarrass you or make you self-conscious. Your spouse should be your rock, your place you look to for guidance. You cannot have that when you lose your way to communicate with each other. We didn't talk to each other about our day or what was going on in our separate lives. We only spoke when it was necessary, about activities in our lives or the kids, but nothing personal. As you can see, we have quite a way to go before we can be good co-parents together. If we don't learn how to communicate, we will never get there. That's what we need to do now. Start from scratch and learn how to properly communicate with each other. We've started the journey, but only barely. This whole process has brought us back to the fact that we need to find a way to talk to each other. We are going to have to be very open and honest dialogue when raising 3 kids apart. At this point, in his mind, he wants to have an open dialogue so maybe he can win me back. I'm just hoping we can change how we converse with each other for the future when we are not living together. We both want the same thing, but for different reasons. He has been clear on his reasoning, and I've made myself clear on my reasoning. Although we both have different motives, we are learning to be more open with each other. At least know more about what's going on in the kids' lives and upcoming events he can help with. He now finds out before the kids have a dentist appointment or what is going on with practices. We have a long way to go. We've built up this wall between us where neither of us thinks the other person cares enough to listen to what we have to say. It might be a little true on both sides. I've gotten to the point where I feel like a conversation with him is a waste of my time. This is something I need to work on for sure. We are both not good at talking and listening to each other. If we want to co-parent and kick ass at it together, we must find a way around it. I need to change how I feel when he is talking, and that is going to take a lot of work on my side. For now, we live in the same house, and we need to figure this out now, before we are shuffling the kids back and forth place to place. I have some ideas I will be working on and some books to read about communication, just like when I was trying to save my marriage before. Now I'm trying to figure out co-parenting. There are so many resources out there I will be looking into so we can get this straight now. I want to always strive for better. Even if it doesn't happen, even if I fall short, I will know I tried my all. I wanted an exceptional marriage, but what I found was a more broken one than I knew I had. This time, I want to have an exceptional co-parenting team. It'll be harder than ever since I'm not the only factor, and one day it could be 4 people as factors. I've set my bar high, and that is okay. That is what I will be striving for. I can only hope he will be doing the same. All right, that is another chapter, you guys. Please like this video and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of this chapter. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you can get notified every time I post a new one. I will see you guys next time for another chapter. We only have 2 more videos left and we will be done with this book. I'll see you next time. Bye.